Hey guys, welcome back to Heavy Metal Rex. My name is Awais, and today I want to talk about some of the modifications that are available for the 2022 WRX. If you're like me, and I know you are, anytime you buy a new car, you're going to look at what's available out there. Now, mine is going to be delivered here, I believe, if everything is still on track, probably another 2 weeks or so. And I've already got my catback, I've already got my mid-pipe, which I'm going to be modifying. I am not, at least as of right now, not going to be buying another one. But I did want to sit down and take a look at what's available out there. There's actually a lot of really cool stuff that you can buy right now. We're not going to get into every part, but I kind of wanted to look into the intake, the intercooler, and some of your exhaust options. And of course, the JB4 tuner as well. So if you guys don't mind, I'd like you to take you into the world of WRX 2022 modifications. So let's take a look. So everything that you're seeing, or that you're gonna see right now, they've already had parts for previous WRXs and STIs. We're talking companies like ETS, companies like Remark, Nameless. There are a couple of other, well, Grim Speed is, I think they have like a custom exhaust right now, but like you can't buy it. But they do have the jpipe gaskets, turbo gaskets. So if you do end up getting like one of these parts here, you want to go back and look at Grim Speed, because they had the gaskets like the first day the car came out, which is a little crazy. But anyway, let's take a look at some of these parts. You guys are probably going to want to buy them. I know I'm going to buy a couple of these, starting with the JB4 tuner right here. This is something, if you get on Reddit, you will see tons of people who have purchased this kit and installed it and are running pump like 93 gas and are getting like probably pretty close to like the stage 1 cop, 30 to 40 horsepower. Some people are claiming up to 50, which is pretty high for just like 93 gas. But if the 2022 WRX is running like 240 to the wheel, even like 30, 40, that's a substantial amount for just $529. That's actually really good. I believe that people are going with the option of getting the wireless, the Bluetooth kit, which does raise the price a bit, but I mean, for ease of use, you're probably gonna wanna get that. Your alternative is to get the actual cable for an extra 40 bucks, but then you're sitting with a laptop on your seat and you're gonna plug it up. I mean, if you're gonna do that, that's also fine. If you're just gonna set it and forget it. But I feel like having the app, which you actually have to pay for the app, which is, I think that's a little excessive. So your total package for that is gonna be like $700 for the tune. So you're getting the app, which is I think like 25 bucks. The wireless kit, which is $149 for the wireless kit, and then the actual JB tuner itself. But I feel like it's worth it. It's worth it. Of course, I can't give you any firsthand experience yet. I will soon when I get the car. But this whole power gains of 50, I haven't seen a lot of people say that they've gotten 50 on Reddit. If you look around, most people are dynoing like somewhere between like 30 and 40. Again, that's pretty good. If your car is gonna make 280 or 290 to the wheel, just with a tune and 93 gas, that's pretty good. Now, something to remember that this is a piggyback system. This actually will not change your ECU, so you can actually unplug it before you take it to the warranty or take it to the shop to get any warranty work done and stuff like that. Now, again, don't take it from me. This is just what people have been saying. Now, this is available for a lot of different cars. A friend of mine actually has a BMW 135, and he's running this, and it is incredible how much extra power he's getting with like additional parts, and because it has all the tunes built into it. Now, you can send your logs to a tuner. I believe there are a few tuners that are doing this, but I guess that's really something you would experience, and it would be a different experience for each person that does it. I went through an e-tune for my WRX using the Cobb. It was fairly painless. I would imagine this is the same. So if you're starting anywhere, this is probably gonna be it. At least that's where I'm gonna start. I actually probably gonna end up ordering this within the next week or two, as I get a stronger confirmation of where is the car and when is the car gonna get here. So that's step one. You'll want a tune, and it's probably gonna be this, because as of right now, Cobb is They're saying they're going to eventually support it, but it probably won't be until the end of this year that we hear anything. So if you have a Cobb, it might be worth holding on to, but that's for you to decide. Next up, we want to look at the ETS Intake. Now, this is really cool. Right now, not super necessary if you're not pushing like a lot of horsepower. If you're really doing nothing other than just the tune, it's going to be fun for noise. I will tell you right now, when I got the MA Performance intake in my car, it was night and day when it comes to the sound. If you've driven a WRX, you know where you are sitting on the bottom by the footwell in the center console, that's where the turbo is. And there's a lot of turbo noise, even the stock airbox. The stock airbox is actually pretty good, but the noise, you can hear it. Taking off the big plastic and all that stuff out of the way and just like, putting a cone filter, it will be excessive. In a good way, especially if you like the turbo spooling, you will hear the induction noise. It will be very loud. I will have one of these. I will get one of these. I do have a Rode Wireless 2 wireless mic set, so I will be putting a mic under the hood so you can hear exactly what this sounds like. It's pretty crazy. And even some of the videos that people have been posting with this, it sounds pretty good. Like it is a good sound. And I've got some clips that I'm going to post in this video, but I don't own any of them. I'm only going to post like some of the ones that like the car companies like Subi Speed or Import Racing have. You'll have to look at some of the other ones on YouTube yourself. I have a few clips for the ETS exhaust and I think the Remark exhausts, and I think the ETS, the Remark, and the Remark single exit. So I'll post those in here so you guys can see them. But this would be your next step. Now, $359 gets you the entire intake, which is great, but it doesn't get you the box, like the cold air box to like separate it. Now, how necessary is that? I don't know, because my MA Performance one was actually running, it didn't have an enclosed box like this itself. What it did have was it just had a shield that I attached to the right side of the intake that basically like separated it from where the engine was. How well that worked? I mean, my temperatures were pretty good, but I also didn't have an intercooler. Your mileage may vary. So the option with the box, oh, here we go. So if you include the air box, it's like $359. It's basically an extra $100. Could you make that at home? Probably. Will it be just as good? I have no idea. This is something, but the nice thing is you can come back and buy the box separate. So you can get this, see how it feels, and get the airbox afterwards. I mean, I feel like chances are you're probably just gonna wanna get it, right? If you're already spending $359, what's another $100, right? At this point, modding cars is an expensive hobby. You already know that, I already know that. So that's the intake. Next up, we've got just a bevy of exhaust options from ETS. They've got their dual exit, they've got their single exit over here, which is titanium. That's something to keep in mind if you want to have lighter weight, but we're talking like between 40 pounds going down to like 15-ish pounds. Something to think about. I mean, they're a little expensive, I'm not gonna lie. $595 for an axleback, that's kind of pricey. $1,200 for the full catback with the mid pipe and the Y pipe and getting that's kind of expensive. Because if you look at and we'll look at this in reroll. We'll get to that. I'm not gonna say yet, but they were like the first ones that I know of that came out with parts, and so they definitely put what people like to call like the new car tax, and that is something to actually think about, because price is important, and if you can save like a couple $100 here or there in the long run, it adds up. Do they sound good? Yes, they do. Is the quality there? Yeah. They're a well-known company. They've built parts for many, many other cars. So it's not like it's not justified, but like, for example, look at their jpipe. It's $1,200, okay? The 2021 jpipe, now, of course, it is different, and the way you're wielding it is different, and we haven't seen anybody else come out with this yet, so we don't know what the baseline price for this is gonna end up being. But I mean, my jpipe, if you went to go look at a 2021 WRX or STI, I think the jpipes were about $700 to $800. $1,300 is pretty high. You know, this $1,295, it's $1,300. You know, and that's just for the J-pipe. So you looking at $1,300 for the J-pipe, $1,300 for the full catback. It's $2,600, and you haven't even gotten intake yet, you know, or the tuner. So it's a good amount of money. Something to keep in mind when it comes to ETS. And I will have a clip for ETS. You know, actually, you know what? I'll play the ETS clip now. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to something else that ETS is making is intercoolers. They actually came out with the top mount intercooler pretty damn quick, like surprisingly quick. Just within the last few days, they've posted this, which is kind of cool. They don't have any pictures for it, but they are going to be shipping a front mount intercooler already. Now, depending on how big this is the key. Look at this. It's, you know, 4 inch for $959. That is not bad. That is not bad of a price for a front mount intercooler. Now, where this gets crazy is the top mount is $895. I think the stock intercooler is way bigger than the 2021 WRX. So something to think about. I haven't seen a lot of people do a comparison between the stock one and like the new ETS one, but $895 for the top mount. If you go with a front mount, which again, $959, not bad price. The piping is another $800. That's kind of crazy. Like, that's really expensive. I think that's really expensive because normally you could probably spend like $1,300 and get a full front mount kit for a 2021. And again, this is the only comparison I have is to a 2021, right? That seems a little expensive. You know, I would say get the top mount, wait this out, see how much of a difference it is. Because until we have like bigger turbos and like pushing more power, you know, through the 2022, I don't know how much worth it is to get a front mount. Now it's gonna look cool. And if you got a guy that can make pipes for you, maybe that's another alternative to go with. All right, next up we got Remark. Remark, again, another well-known brand. People making axlebacks, catbacks for WRXs, and they sound great. A friend of mine has a Remark catback, and it sounds fantastic. Something you'll notice here, considerably cheaper. $590 something versus $395 for a catback, $435 for a catback, you know, between a 3.5 and 4 inch. And again, there's no real sound difference between a 3.5 and a 4 inch. So I believe mine are actually 3.5, and they were stupid loud and sounded great. So take that for what you will. Now, Remark has another advantage. Their R1 full catback single exit is $655, right? If price is just absolutely the bottom line for you, you cannot go wrong with that. And I believe I do have a clip for this, and honestly, it sounds good. Now, where this ends up being a problem is where it sits on the car. Right now, the rear bumper, the diffuser area, does have 2 cutouts for dual exit, and many people find it difficult to look at the bumper with one side just empty. This is purely personal preference, but again, if you want sound and you know you don't have a lot of money or you have a very limited budget, this is the way to go. There's just no question about it. So again, their options are cheaper. Like, see here, you've got $1095 for a full catback. That's $300 cheaper than ETS. Something to think about, you know. Even if you go with this, you know, you've got $525 for this, $395, you're still looking at that's gonna be a little bit over 1,000. Actually, it's like right at 1,000. So again, it's still cheaper than ETS. You have options. And I will tell you, the blue tips, really cool, but over time, blue tips will fade. I have blue tips on mine, and actually that's what's gonna be going on in the new one, and I've had them for about a year, about 10 months, and they have faded a little bit. I would imagine that continued use will fade them even more. Something to think about. Some of these cosmetic things sound great in the beginning, but you have to really decide, is it really worth the money in the long run for performance? Sometimes it's not, and that's not something everybody is willing to hear. I do have a clip for the R1, and I want to go ahead and play it now. And I do have a clip for the, I believe it's a 3.5 axleback for Remark as well. Let's go ahead and play that. Okay, personally, I think they both sound fantastic. Slight different, like the slight tone changes between all of them. The R1 does seem a little bit, it's hard to tell. It sounds maybe not as loud, but again, you're gonna save what? $655, almost $350, $250 from the Remark one, and almost like $600 from the ETS one. Something to consider, right? Don't knock it. Next up, I want to talk about Nameless. They've got a couple of parts too. Sadly, was not able to find any videos that I could share with you. Again, they are on, you can find them on YouTube. I highly suggest you always do that. And if you can find somebody in the community that has them, ask them to send you some videos as well. Again, there's tons of videos. But here we've got a full catback system for somewhere between 1,100 and 1,500. I'm not really sure what's going on here. So it's probably a couple of options here. Oh, okay. So you have the options to choose if you want muffler delete, if you want actual mufflers, 4-inch, 5-inch, double wall, single wall. So that is kind of nice that Nameless is giving you way more options than everybody else. Personally, I am a little older gentleman, and I do have a child that sits in my car, and currently I do have muffler deletes, and I will say on the highway, it is a little obnoxious. They do drone like crazy. If I had to go back and buy these again, I would have gotten the mufflers, the smaller 4-inch mufflers on mine, because when you're just driving regular, you kind of don't want to hear the car. But when you get on it, that's kind of where the sound is. And I would highly suggest you listen to both muffler delete and videos with mufflers. And honestly though, it is hard to hear in a video online, but it's also hard to feel. Because once you're in the car, especially if you have a J-pipe, the feel of a loud exhaust is way different than the feel of a lighter exhaust. You feel it in your chest, you feel it in your ears. It is a vibration that is hard to describe through video. So again, I know it's difficult to be able to go and sit and jump in somebody's car and feel what that feels like before you buy it, but with muffler deletes, it is something you really need to keep in mind. So it's not a bad price. Let's see, I assume that's for the 3-inch double wall and the muffler deletes. Yeah, so that's what you're looking at. And the price kind of jumps up a little bit. As you can see, it's going up in the 3.5 walls. So basically, how many walls you want, and if you want mufflers. And yeah, mufflers end up costing you more metal, but it would be my suggestion, especially if it's your daily. So that's with Nameless. Now there's this last one, Noble. I don't really know anything else about it, and I'm not gonna lie, just from this picture, it looks like a silly straw. That's what it looks like to me, just from this picture. Maybe this is just like their test prototype or whatever. Import Racing, I believe, has a video for this. Import Image Racing has a video for this. It doesn't sound bad, but again, it is a single exit exhaust. If you're gonna get a single exit exhaust, I would probably go with the Remark, because it's $655. This one is $1,000, $1,049. Total weight 10 pounds. Oh, hey, you know what? It is titanium. I'm pretty sure the single mark Remark is not titanium. Does it say? It is stainless steel. Okay, so that's stainless steel. Well, that's something to think about. $1,000 for titanium, and it's only 15 pounds. Oh, it's not even 15. It's 10. Wow, it's 10 pounds. The entire construction is titanium, so front to back. Okay, maybe if sound or not so much sound, weight reduction is something that you're really serious about. If you're gonna take this out to drag, this actually might be a pretty good option for $1,000 to get a, but then again, it is single out. You have to decide. A lot of people just don't like that, but the options are there, right? You really have to decide for yourself. No one can tell you. Like me, again, if I could find a bumper that had like just a single cutout for it, I wouldn't be opposed to this, because if you think about old WRXs and old STIs, guess what? They were single exit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just when they went to the VA, they had the dual exit, and you know, people were thinking about it or whatever. And you know what? That's actually one of the reasons why some of the older parts are a lot cheaper. We're actually getting screwed in the future. We're having to have to pay for more metal, so it kind of sucks. That's pretty much all we've got. These are the things I wanted to talk about, because this is what I keep looking at. And there is another website. I'll post all of these in the description so you guys can go check them out. And there's actually another page I wanted to bring your guys' attention to. It's on Reddit. It's the Exhaust Mega Thread. And here they actually have videos and sound clips for tons of things that people have been collecting to be able to share with the community, so you know what these things sound like. Highly suggest going through this website and just checking out the different sounds. So like, see, they got the Noble here. They've got, you know, a 4-inch double wall. They've got the single wall for the Nameless. They've got the R1 exit, single exit. You know, check it out. See what you like. You know, there's more things coming out every day. You know, just keep an eye, because I know there's like the parent shift stop. You know, and Grimspeed has one. You know, and somebody else has a shift stop. You know, I think there's a couple other things that were coming out. There's a short throw shifter coming out. I actually ended up going with the STI short throw shifter from the factory, because it's just easier for me to have it already installed. What else is coming out? I mean, there's tons of stuff that's going to be coming out. I know. Just keep an eye out for these things. Not really going to get into the aero portion of it. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the what am I trying to say? The wing. You know, I don't know if I'm going to get a wing or not get a wing, if I'm going to get a duckbill. I don't know. There's so many options, and every day I keep going back and forth. Even on my 21, I couldn't decide if I wanted to just leave it the way it was or get an STI wing, and it's just too much to worry about right now. I'm going to focus, when the car gets here, on the paint. I've got some paint ideas. I got to get my old wheels sold, because I've got some ideas for the new wheels, and we're going to get the tuner, at least start with that, and then we'll take it from there. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and a comment down below if there's anything you want to see, and please subscribe, because I got a lot of things coming up. I am super excited for the new car to get here. I honestly cannot wait, because I want to get to building, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. And plus, I truly believe it is going to be the only car like it in St. Louis, which is going to help, because we've got a lot of car shows here, and I hope to make a name, make a splash. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.